Hello everyone, my name is ARKA'AN. I'm studying in Islamic University of Indonesia, and today I'm gonna tell you guys about my experience about studying in informatics. Now I'm gonna tell you about the subjects that I like the most in informatics. I picked three, and those subjects are game development, fundamentals of mathematics, and design thinking. The reason why I picked game development as my first subject that I like the most is because I play games as a hobby since I was a child, and seeing this as a subject in my major kinda got me excited. And one of the most interesting thing that I learned in that subject is that game development as a whole is pretty hard and not easy at all. So I struggle as any other scholars, but still I learned a lot of things from that subject that I even still remember to this day. The second one is fundamentals of mathematics, and the reason why I picked it is because it apparently not as hard as I first thought, and I somehow performed pretty well at it. Because other subjects is not as easy, and seeing good grades once in a while is always nice. So yeah, it kinda left a certain impression on me. And the third one is design thinking. Now the reason why I picked it is because it's a pretty interesting subject to me, and the activity doesn't involve a lot of theory but more on the practice. And any other subjects usually put us in front of the computer, whether we are reading the materials or doing some programming, but this subject is kind of different, so it kind of feels refreshing. And the next one, I'm gonna tell you about the most memorable thing that I remember from learning in informatics. The most memorable thing to me is preparing for the expo. So we usually have an expo at the end of our semester, and it involves a lot of big projects that related to several materials that we learned throughout the semester. So as you might expect, it's pretty exhausting. Not only the expo itself, but the preparation for the expo. And also the expo is open for public, so not only the lecturers will observe our booth, but also the whole public. So yeah, it's pretty worrying actually, but as time goes on, we kind of got used to it, and we learned a lot of things. We learned how to communicate properly, how to handle people properly, so it's not all bad. And the last one, I'm gonna tell you about the most worrying thing in informatics. The most worrying thing for me is preparing for the final tests. Well, although it may seem predictable, but the final test in informatics is kinda different from any other major, because there are two types of tests. The first one is, as you might expect, is the paper-based test. So we enter a room and we do exam as usual on the paper. And the second type is programming. So we usually bring our own laptop or use the computers in the lab, and we do certain assignments related to the programming materials that we learned throughout the semester. So it requires a lot of preparation, not only on the materials itself, but also on how to write the code properly, because the time is limited, and if we don't write program sufficiently, we might fail. There's actually another thing that I wanted to tell you, and that is my study plan for the fourth year in informatics. I think out of the concentrations available, I'm gonna choose the apprentice. The reason why I chose apprentice is because work experience would be really valuable for my future, and I think this is the opportunity for me to broaden my knowledge about the working field. And the preparation that I have prepared is actually not much, because the subjects that I already learned is pretty substantial, and although I still try my best to learn outside of my mandatory subjects, but it's still minimal, and I hope I get the chance to really focus on what I want to be doing. And I guess that's it. Those are my experiences about my studying in informatics, and thank you for watching.